Hello, you're welcome to another sewing tutorial with me, and today we'll be talking about how to take measurements from your measuring tape. My name is Maria Kadiri and I help beginners in fashion design to learn how to sew. Today's class promises to be an interesting one, so you don't want to miss any part of it. Stay back, I will be right back. Okay, so how to take measurements from a tape rule. In this class, I'm going to be explaining to you what each of these lines means and what each of these numbers you are seeing means. All right, so we start from the very beginning of this tape rule, from this point to this point. All right, so half of this point is the half-inch measurement. Then from the beginning of this tape rule to this long line beside the 1 is where we have the 1-inch measurement. So when you move further to this short stroke, you have 1.5. When you go further, you have 2. You go again, you have 2.5. You go further, you have 3. So in between two numbers is where you take half measurement, is where you take half-inch. In between two numbers, in between these long lines, you have a middle stroke which represents half-inch. Okay, so let's start again from the beginning of this tape rule, from the start of this tape rule to this short stroke, we have the half-inch. The next one, which is a long stroke, is where you count your 1 inch. You can see the 1 is represented there. All right, so now in between the half-inch, as well, you have a smaller stroke. That's in between the beginning of this tape rule to this half-inch. You have a smaller stroke which represents 1/1/4. So the next one is half-inch, like I already explained. Then the next small inch, like you're seeing, is the 3/4 inch, and then we have the 1 inch. So going further, if I'm to go to the next smaller line, we have the 1/1/4. That's the 1 inch 1/4, 1 inch and half, 1 inch and 3/4. So from this long line beside the 1, which represents 1 inch, to this third stroke, as you can see, is 1/3/4. So what I'm explaining in essence is, in between half-inch we have a quarter. All right, in between half-inch we have a quarter. In between the next half-inch we have another quarter. So you keep adding until you get to 1 inch. So let's start again from here to this place. We have a quarter. From the beginning of this tape rule to this half-inch we have half-inch. So the next major one is the 3/4 inch, and then we have the 1 inch. All right, so when you're counting forward again, look at where I'm pointing at. This is 1 inch and a quarter, 1 inch and a half. All right, so on this point is where we have the 1.5 inch, and then when you move further we have 1/3/4. Remember, before 1 we have this stroke here, that is 3/4 inch. Okay, now we've gotten to 1, so the next one will be 1 inch and a quarter, 1 inch and a half. That's if you're measuring from, if you're taking measurement here, is 1 inch and a half. Now you go further to 1 inch and 3/4. So 1 inch 3/4. You keep reading like that. You get to a quarter first, you get to a half, then you get to an inch. All right, so let's start from the beginning again. I really want you to get this. You start from the beginning, you get to a quarter, you get to half, then you get to another quarter, which is 3/4, and then you get to an inch. All right, so this is 1 inch and a quarter, 1 inch and a half, 1 inch and 3/4, then you get to 2 inch. So you keep reading: 2 inch 1/4, 2 inch and a half, 2 inch 3/4, 2, and this is 3 inches. Okay, so you keep reading like that. So if you come this way, this long, always remember that the long stroke represents an inch. So this is 5 inch. When you come immediately after the inch, that's this long, a bit long stroke, and you have the 1/4 inch, which is 5 1/4, 5 1/2. So you'll be omitting the little lines, okay? The smaller lines, you omit it, okay? So the next one is 5 3/4, and then you come down to 6 inches. So that's how to take measurements from a taperule. I would want you to practice this on your own. So